Hey, my name is Shelby, and I'm going to be talking with you a little bit today. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that everything that we do discuss today will be confidential. However, if you do tell me something that may be of harm to yourself or others, I am required by law to report it. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I understand, and I appreciate you telling me that.
Cool. So, can you tell me a little bit about what brings you in today and just kind of what's been going on?
Yes. So, me and my husband, or my husband is suing me for full custody of our children.
Okay.
And me and my husband are in the process of getting a divorce. I am absolutely devastated of the thought of him taking my kids away from me. They are my life, and I'm so mad at my husband for ever thinking that he could take them away from me. They are my children too.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends and family believe that talking to someone will help me better understand why he is doing this to me, because they are all on his side all of the time.
Wow. Well, I'm really sorry about your situation, and I know it has to be really hard of the thought of losing your children and dealing with this situation. And it sounds to me that you're pretty upset of the thought of losing custody of your children.
Yes, I am. And frankly, I really don't see any need for me to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a great mother. I was told it might help if I talk to someone about everything that has been going on, that it may be beneficial to myself in court. Do you think that it will help me out in court?
Well, I think we should just stay on track for right now with your current situation. I think we just need to discuss your concerns about what's going on rather than focusing on how you may benefit from these sessions. So, um, so do you believe that there really is no need for you to be here at all today?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
I do not think there is any problem with my parenting or the way I behave at all. Honestly, I do not want to be here at all. And I feel like I'm not going to benefit from anything really that you have to offer here.
Okay, so you're kind of feeling that this may be just a waste of your time and it might lead to some things that you just don't really want to deal with or you just don't really want to do.
Yeah, I just don't want to be here at all. And basically, I'm just here because I have to be.
Okay, so what might be the types of things that you want to do during our sessions together, or what might be some of the things that you might want to discuss?
Well, I guess just discuss what's going on between my husband and I and how to make things better so that I might be able to keep my children.
Okay, so can you kind of just tell me a little bit more about the situation between you and your husband and just kind of how everything began?
Well, my husband and I are in the process of a divorce because he continuously told me that I have a drinking problem.
Okay.
And that he could not be married to me anymore. Every week I would come home from hanging out with a few coworkers after work, and he would instantly start fighting with me about my drinking. When I'm at home relaxing and not working, I like to drink however much I want to. And we get into a pretty big fight in front of our children, which I don't think that it is that big of a deal. I do not think I have a drinking problem, and I should just, be able to do whatever I want to.
Okay. So it seems to me that you might think that your husband, shouldn't have a problem with your drinking because, you're an adult and you should be able to make decisions for yourself on how much you should or shouldn't drink. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So what do you think the reason is as to why your husband gets angry with you after you come home from drinking with your coworkers?
Well, one night I drove home after being at a bar, and when I got home, my husband immediately began to argue with me because he knew I had been out drinking. He does not think I know how to drive when I have been drinking. I have been drinking for many years, and I think I know how to drive when I've been drinking. My husband says that I act mean and rude to my children when they are around when I'm drunk, but I don't think that's true at all.
Okay, so you kind of said that your husband says that you can be mean or rude towards your children when you've been drinking. So, how do your children feel when? How do you think your children feel when you and your husband are arguing in front of them?
Well, that is none of your business. I love my children, and I would never act mean towards them. I love them.
Right.
When my husband and I argue about my drinking, and he makes me look bad because he tells me that I'm going to get another DUI right in front of them.
Okay, so you just said that you previously had a DUI. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what happened, and just kind of a little bit more about your previous DUI and the situation with that?
Well, I don't really like to talk about it, but a few years ago, I was pulled over in the middle of the day when I was on my way to pick up my children from school. I had been drinking a little bit, but I thought I was fine to go pick them up from school.
Mm-hmm.
When I was pulled over, I was told to get out of my car because the officer could smell alcohol in my breath. I began to argue with the officer, and he quickly arrested me, and I was charged with a DUI.
Okay.
My husband was furious, and he likes to hang this fault over my head any chance that he gets. Anytime we get into a fight or an argument, he constantly brings it up, even whatever we are arguing about has nothing to do with my drinking.
Okay. So to you, it kind of seems like your husband uses your previous DUI situation, as an excuse to justify why he gets mad at you all the time. It's kind of his way of letting you know, I'm mad at you because of this. Is that correct?
Yes, he constantly brings up the fact that my children might have been in a car with me when I was drinking, and he doesn't trust me at all with them anymore.
Okay.
I don't even know why he wouldn't trust me with my own children. I love them so much, and I would never do anything to hurt them.
Okay. So to you, it might be a little bit of a mystery as to why your husband won't trust you with your children anymore.
Right. My children are my life. He needs to stop pretending like I don't know how to keep my children safe. It just makes me so angry that he is trying to take them away from me for absolutely no reason.
Okay. Do you think your husband gets angry with you about your drinking and driving because, he might be afraid that you may get pulled over again and receive another DUI, or that you may get into an accident or something like that?
Yeah, I do. I think he overreacts, but I know I was fine to be behind the wheel. And my husband thinks that I need help with my drinking, but I think that I have everything under control when it comes to my drinking.
Okay. So you kind of have this feeling that your husband is making a big deal about nothing, and, you feel that you honestly know what you're doing when it comes to your drinking. Is that right?
Yes, that is exactly how I'm feeling.
Okay. So let's kind of go back to when you and your husband argue between each other, and, what are the kinds of things that are said between you and your husband when you guys argue?
Well, he says that I'm stupid for drinking as much as I do, and that I'm a poor example for my children. And, sometimes I believe he's right.
Okay. Well, how does that make you feel when he says that you're stupid and that you are a poor example of your children? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very angry towards him. I usually say mean things back to him as well, and then afterwards, when we are finished arguing, I like to have a drink to calm myself down.
Okay, so you kind of use alcohol as a way to cope with the situation whenever you and your husband do get into an argument with each other. Is that right?
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel good. But now that my husband is trying to divorce me and take away my children, I am beginning to think how my life would be different if I didn't drink.
Okay. Do you think that getting help with your drinking may help your current situation when it comes to, this custody battle between you and your husband? Do you think it would benefit you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would. I love my children so much, but they are sometimes, they're sometimes afraid to be around me because of the way I act when I come home from the bar and when they are nearby when me and my husband have an argument.
Okay. So let's think about something just for a minute, and what might be the type of things that might stop you from wanting to stop your drinking or cut back on your drinking? What are the things that might just be a real obstacle for you when it comes to thinking about doing this?
Well, drinking has always been a big part of my life. It's something that I'm able to do when I'm mad or when I'm upset. It just makes me feel like I can do what I want to do, and nobody's going to tell me what to do.
Okay. So drinking kind of makes you feel like you have control over something. Like you are the boss of drinking, and you have control over how much you get to drink or things like that.
Yes, it does. And, I have to know where it is in the house, how much we have, and I'm in control of how much that I drink.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think you could ever imagine your life without drinking, or is that something that you could just picture yourself doing without having alcohol in your life?
It's really hard to do that because it is such a big part of my daily routine. But I guess it would help me when it comes to keeping custody of my children. If I cut back or, I just stopped altogether. But I don't know if that's something that I really want to do.
Okay. So, on one hand, you kind of feel like getting help with your drinking or cutting back on your drinking could benefit your situation when dealing with this custody battle between you and your husband. And on the other hand, since drinking is such a big part of your daily routine, you're kind of feeling that um, you don't want to do that. That's just something that you just really don't want to do because it is such a big part of your life. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And I honestly can't imagine my life without alcohol.
So, do you think it might be impossible for you to stop drinking?
Yes, I really think it might be. It helps me unwind from work. Most of my friends are from work, and we all love to get together and drink after a long day of work.
Okay. So, if you stop drinking or if you got help with your drinking, it might kind of make you feel like the odd man out because, that's something that you connect with your coworkers with. You guys all get together and have a drink. And if you weren't able to do that, you might feel kind of like an outsider because you're not able to participate in that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I don't have many friends, and if I quit drinking, they might not want to be around me anymore, or they might treat me differently because I don't drink or can't drink.
Mm-hmm.
But I just care so much about my children that I think it might be time for me to start thinking about changes so that I can keep them.
Mm-hmm. So you might be you might be beginning to start wondering what it might be like if you don't get help with your drinking, or if you end up losing this battle, with your husband for your children. Is that what you're just kind of thinking what might happen?
Yes, and I think it might be time to do something about this.
All right. Well, it sounds a whole lot that you do care a lot about your children and that you are willing, to do something about it in order to keep your children. And I think that's very important. And here at the center, we have a lot of different programs that could help you with that. Is that something, you might want me to discuss with you?
Yes, I would appreciate that very much. And, what do you think might be the best plan of action for me to take in order for me to, take care of this situation and make sure that I'm able to keep my children?
Well, I think that's something you'll have to decide on your own. There's a lot of different programs here, and they all work differently for each situation and each person. So that's definitely something that you'll have to decide on your own, and we can definitely work with you on that.
Okay, well, I think I'm ready to begin thinking about that.
All right. Well, we can begin working towards a plan so that you may be able to accomplish your goals that you set.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks.